Hello, welcome to Godfather Barbecue and Italian. So, Tina, listen, today, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, soups. We're going to continue on with the soup series. We're going to do some split pea soup, okay? This is comforting and delicious and simple, easy. So, let's run through this real quick. For ingredients, I'm going to use chicken bone stock, okay? 7 cups. Get yourself a couple of quarts if you're buying it. That happens to be homemade, but if you're buying it in the store, a couple of quarts, and reserve. Use. We're going to use 7 out of 8 cups in 2 quarts. Keep that in case it thickens up later. But I'm going to use 7 cups of bone stock, chicken bone stock. And if you just regular stock is fine, but if you can find bone stock, it makes a difference. We're going to use a couple of tablespoons of butter, salt, pepper. One of my secrets to carry flavor throughout this is some thick smoked bacon. I've got 6 slices of, very coarsely chopped smoked bacon, non-cured, but use whatever bacon you can. And you don't have to, but it's just a nice flavor element to it in the background. I've got 1 medium red onion. I like red onions in this. It gives it some color, and I like the flavor it brings. A couple of sticks of celery and a couple of carrots, all finely chopped. Got 1 pound of split peas, dried split peas. We're going to rinse those, make sure there's no rocks or anything in them. We've got some oregano. We're going to use a teaspoon of oregano. We're going to use a teaspoon of thyme. We're going to use a teaspoon of rosemary, a couple of small bay leaves, or one big one. Now, here's where this can vary a lot. Some people use ham. Some people just make split pea soup or need, vegetarian, whatever. It's all going to work the same. I happen to have some of my homemade sausage handmade that I smoked yesterday, and this is great. It'll give the soup a nice smoky flavor. So towards the end or the last stage, I'll slice these or dice them up and put them in. But you can use ham. You can use anything you have that you like. As far as some people use chicken, whatever you like, or you don't have to use anything. All right. So let's start this process, Tina. All right, Tina. So we have our soup pot heating up, getting a little warm here. I'm going to cook this bacon nice and crispy. And then I choose to leave it in. You can take it out. You can put it in later. What we're going to do is get this nice and crispy. Then we're going to add a little butter and cook the vegetables right in with it. And that's just going to transfer this flavor of the pork and smokiness. This is apple smoked bacon. So that'll help with the background. Give it a try if you haven't. It's really effective and gives split pea soup another element. And I love it traditional too, just straight up onions, carrots, celery, peas, salt, pepper, and and garlic, whatever, and just that's great too. But this is kind of a kicked up version that I think you'll like. So we're gonna brown this, we're gonna crisp this up, and we'll see you in a minute. All right, so if you noticed here, I have it nice and crispy, not burnt, but definitely crispy. This is what I want because this is going to soften up as it cooks. So you do want to just get it shy of it starting to burn. Just that's perfect, okay? We're gonna come in with our red veggies, aromatics. Okay, I'm gonna come in with our 3 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna hit this with a little salt to help those veggies sweat a little bit. And I'm gonna turn the heat on. I just want these to sweat out. I'm not trying to caramelize them. I just want to soften them up a little bit slowly, absorb that bacon flavor, the bacon grease. And this is going to be the flavor transportation vessel in here. All this little bit of grease, if you will, or oil it's going to leave behind is going to just permeate the soup. So it's going to be unbelievable. Important to salt this at this point, maybe half to 3/4 of a teaspoon. So we're going to let these go probably 4 or 5 minutes, soften up a little bit, just sweat them out, and we'll see you then. All right, so we're about halfway through these sauteing and softening up. So I'm going to go ahead and add the drying spices now. So we got oregano. We're going to do a teaspoon of that. We got rosemary. Same thing. Teaspoon of that. And we got thyme. Teaspoon of that. I'm going to hit it with a teaspoon of black pepper. And about another half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to mix these up. Let that incorporate in as the vegetables continue to soften. I'm going to say we got another 2 or 3 minutes here. Smell that, Tina?
I do.
It's best to, in my opinion, add the dry seasonings now, because sometimes if you do it after you put your stock in, it ends up floating, and sometimes it never incorporates in. So it's or completely. I find this to be much more effective as far as getting the flavors in there. All right, we'll see you in a couple minutes. All right, so we're good on the softening of the veggies, seasonings in there, bacon's in there, a couple small bay leaves or 1 big one. We're going to go in with our 7 cups of stock. Okay, we're stock's in. We're going in with our split peas and give them a stir. I'm going to bring this to a boil, and we're going to simmer this. It's going to take about an hour and a half-ish, okay? Again, it can vary a little bit, but between an hour and 15, hour and a half is usually what I find. So we'll see when this is boiling. All right, so I got a lid on that. So while that's coming up to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and chop my sausage. And this, again, if you're using ham, sometimes we'll use kielbasa, summer sausage, whatever. I'm going to cut them in half and just half moon it. Not this precise, just I don't want them too big, but I want people to get a nice bite. Look at that sausage. Oh, my goodness. Folks, if you haven't seen our homemade sausage recipes, there's a bunch on there. All right, so we're at a nice roll and boil. And what we're going to do is I'm going to back this down. We're going to go a pretty heavy simmer, about like that, okay? And I'm going to leave it partially ajar. And I'm going to come back in a half an hour, give it a stir, make sure nothing's sticking. And then another half an hour, we'll check it again. And then again, third half hour, we'll be looking for doneness. So we'll see you in a half an hour. All right, so we've been a half an hour. You can see it's starting to thicken up a little bit here. Perfect. And again, I've got a little bit of stock on the side should this get too thick, but as of right now, this is coming perfectly on. Do you smell that?
It smells delicious.
You know what I really smell is the rosemary. And
yeah.
That just gives it a nice, and not a lot, okay? And the bacon, I mean, the house is smelling incredible, guys. So this is coming along just as I love it. And we're going to let this go another 30 minutes. And then at that point, we're going to put our sausage in, or ham, or whatever you're using for meat or nothing. You can just stir it at that point. All right, so we'll see you in 30. All right, so we're another 30 minutes into this. You can see this. I haven't stirred it, but it's definitely getting nice and thick. And this is when the peas will start breaking down. Okay, so
good enough to eat.
Yeah. However, they still obviously you can see the texture. I mean, they're starting. So we're gonna at this point come back in 15 minutes. I have a feeling I am going to use. Matter of fact, let's add that additional cup of stock in here. Perfect. All right, so we're going to come back in 15. It should be right where we want. We're going to add our sausage at that point for the last 15 minutes. All right, Tina, so we're back. Yeah, see this? See how this is all breaking down now? Yep. This is exactly where we want it. This is actually technically done. So we're an hour and 15 in. we're gonna just put our meat in carefully. And since this is already cooked, I'm just gonna give this 10 minutes. And guess what? We're gonna come back. See how that's,
yep.
You can still see the peas, but it's perfect timing. I may thin this out with just maybe a half a cup of water, which if you don't have any more stock will work. So we've ended up using so far 8 cups of stock. And again, this should be thick. I'm just gonna throw a half cup of water in there. Perfect. Okay, see that? That's perfect. And some people, believe it or not, they put a little cream in here at this point, but the consistency is perfect. So I'm excited. This is going to be awesome. The smell is crazy, Tina.
Yes, I know.
All right, we'll see you in 10. All right, so we're another 10 minutes in. So total of an hour and 25 minutes for this. As I said, between an hour and 15 and an hour and 30, you pretty much set your clock by it. So we're done here. See this? Look at this. Oh, perfect. Okay. We're going to see you over on the island to eat. All right, Tina. So
looks good, smells good.
We haven't made this in a little bit.
In a while.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have you do the honors, if you wouldn't mind.
So you want me to burn my mouth?
Yeah. Well, not really, but
okay.
It should be somewhat cool.
Okay. That's good with the sausage.
Right? Because the sausage adds another layer of flavor. And in that Italian sausage is really, well, there's a little bit of fennel, but mainly just salt, pepper, garlic, little white wine.
It's good because my mom used to make it. We'd put kielbasa in it.
Yeah, I remember.
So
that was great too.
Different flavor,
but same texture the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And my mom would just have it. We'd have this after like Easter when we'd have a ham. So
sure.
she'd use the ham bone with extra ham. So then there'd be ham in it and kielbasa.
That's the beauty. You can use anything. You can. I mean, even just no meat is delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how a lot of restaurants do it. But
right.
Folks, this is certainly up there with special things. So give it a shot. And we truly appreciate all the support, all the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we're looking forward to the next one.
See you soon.
Thanks again.